It's Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the whole flock of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Gotta give all praises honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah. The Most High, the Heavenly Father, his Hebrew name is Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahia, not Allah. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten son name in Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshua, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shah. So gotta give all praise honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rekah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, really concepted or not. In the sincere salutation to all the octane pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hopeful elect. And Shalom to that walk who are listening and learning, the few sisters who are listening and learning. I'm Isaiah from Jim Messalino, coming at you another lesson, the truth, facts, faith, and edification, another daily edification, Lord willing, this be edifying. So I just titled this comment board response and prophecy topic. Now before I get into the little lesson I want to deal with is prophecy of World War III. This guy came on my comment board on the lesson that I did yesterday. So and what he said was, I'm finna pull it up. This guy, man, I don't know who the guy is. My first time seeing his avatar, whatever it is. But this is what he said. I just want to mention it. He left a whole book, right? So make sure it's sharing so you can see. Okay. So this one the lesson I did yesterday. Vex with filthy conversation, which I left out a couple precepts because I forgot to read the main precept, which was Second Peter about how Lot was vexed. But anyway, so this say Hijah the Zion. He said, "Sir, kind regards." Listen to this. To this, I ain't gonna even call him a demon. Listen to this guy. He says, "Sir, kind regards. I enjoyed the topic and content of your lesson. It was very edifying. Thank you. However, why do some of the holy prophets of Great Millstone use profanity while preaching and or teaching the word or teaching the holy word of Yahushua? Why do they mimic the unholy foul language of the pagans when preaching or teaching the holy word of King Yahushua Hamashiach, which he spelled Hamashiach totally off? They said, why do they mingle unclean foul profanity of the pagans with the holy precious word of Yahushua? In Isaiah 6, 1 through 9, Prophet Isaiah repented because he and his household were people of unclean lips. When in the Holy Scriptures, read in Isaiah 6, 1 through 7. So, before I read the rest of this, let's read Isaiah 6, 1 through 7, right? And I told them what it was talking about in verse 7. So I'm going to read it real quick. Lord, will this be edifying? This is Isaiah chapter 6. Now, he think this is talking about profanity. So it say, in the year that King Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple. Above it stood the seraphims, each one had 6 wings. With twine he covered his face, and with twine he covered his feet, and with twine he did fly. And one cried unto another and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord Yahweh of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. And the posts of the door moved at the voice of him that cried, and the house was filled with smoke. Then said I, woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips. And I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips, right? For my eyes have seen the King, the Lord Yahweh of hosts. Then flew one of the seraphims unto me, having a live coal in his hand, which he had taken with the tongues from off the altar. And he laid it upon my mouth and said, Lo, this have touched thy lips, and thy iniquity, listen, and thy iniquity is taken away, and thy sin is purged. Now, right here, this is what Isaiah said, verse 5. Then said I, Woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips, for my eyes have seen the King, the Lord Yahweh, Bahajim Habashab host. Say, then flew one of the seraphims unto me, having a live coal in his hand, which he had taken with the tongues from off the altar. He laid it upon my mouth, and he said, Lo, this have touched thy lips, and thy iniquity is taken away, and thy sin is purged. So what I told him was, this ain't talking about no profanity, man. It's talking about Isaiah was this was Isaiah representing the elect, the hopefully elect being purged, their sins purged away their iniquities, man, through Yahweh. Okay? Isaiah mentioned Yahweh was going to be born, right? They also tell you, that's in Isaiah 2, I forgot what verse it is, that the voice that cried from the wilderness, which he was talking about John the Baptist, right? So he said he dwell amongst unclean people, right? With unclean lips. This is Hosea 8 and 8. It reads, Israel is swallowed up. Now shall they be among the Gentiles as a vessel wherein is no. So I told him that was talking about Israel being purged. So I said, I had to write this down because I was at the plantation. I say, just as Job represented the elect, right, going through trials and tribulations, adversities and afflictions, the same is with Isaiah representing the elect, the hopeful elect being purged from their sins and iniquities. It's like the same difference, man. As Job represented the elect going through trials and tribulations, adversities and afflictions, the same as Isaiah representing the hopeful elect returning back to Yahweh Shema Shah, turning back to your heavenly Father Yahweh through Yahweh Shah. So it say, because he put up the whole verse, Isaiah 6, 1 through 7. So then he say, therefore, respectfully, my fellow just Israelite. And I say, hey, first off, we ain't no Israelites. He got you one. I don't know who this guy is. It say, therefore, respectfully, my fellow GMS Israelite brother, please urge fellow GMS Israelites to stop using profanity. Leviticus 20 and 26 commands us to be holy and set apart for Yahweh's use and glory only, and to reverence him. Leviticus 24:3 illustrates to blaspheme and to use profanity and cursing will result in death. There are youth, there are youth that desire to hear the word of Yahweh through GMS prophets, but they often complain about the use of profanity being used in the sermons. For the use of profanity is unseemly and unholy in and out itself. Profanity is the perverted and unclean language of the heathen that Yasha inherited, adopted from, and used to curse themselves, their names, and their masters. Esau, he say, pop up. So he said, did Yahshua Mashiach use profanity when speaking? No, not ever. So he exited out the others, whatever this is. So he said he put up. So when Yahweh Shai, he said, did Yahweh Shai use profanity? No, not ever. So when Yahweh Shai called the Pharisees and Sadducees vipers and serpents, what was that? What was that? In that time, there was no uh shit, hell, damn, fuck, and motherfucker and all that, right? So he put up Ephesians 4 and 29. He said, let not corrupt communication, which I read yesterday in my lesson. Let not corrupt communication, profanity proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And he put up Psalms 8 and 7. Regarding the wicked, this verse declares, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. You see, that's why you Jakes need to be quiet because you don't know what you be talking about, man. You see? So let me finish reading this. Let me finish reading and let me calm down. They say, under his tongue is mischief and vanity. Therefore, why use the profane cursing of the wicked? Are ye not holy and set apart for Yahweh and his only begotten son, Yahweh Hamashiach? And it's a and the holy Ruach Ha Kodesh. That ain't, and I told him that's not how you say the Rakah Kodash. Anyway, he said, please stop using profanity as it is unclean and contaminates the hearers. Also, please be considerate of youth of very young ages and elderly who are hungry to hear the word of Yah. You see, I always go back to these Yah Israelites, and this is what the NRB all is. You damn demon. But this like, cause why would you use Yahweh up here? But then you talking about, oh, he put Yahweh with an O. Anyway, which he spelled Yahweh. See, this is showing your wickedness right here. Because up here you using Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, and you spell Hamashiach wrong. So now you get down here, now it's your Hoa, right? In the Ruach. It say, please stop using profanity as it is unclean and contaminates the hearers. Also, please be considerate of youth of very young ages and elderly who hungry to hear the word of Yah. But this is like hearing blasphemous and unclean profanity. Hey, and if you're offended in this truth in 2021, this ain't for you, man. It's a be not as the heathen and demons who use profanity all the time to curse Yahweh. It's a in his chosen people, Kala is a Kala Bahashim Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rakah Kodash. So you're gonna put Rakah Kodash. You see how he going back and forth if, with Ruach Kodesh? That you got Rakah Kodash down here, Barakatah Hallelujah, which is right, Shalom. Most kind and respectful regards and King Yahweh Mashiach. So you see this guy. Now I went to his page and there was not nothing on it. His page is empty, man. Look, is it showing? Look, there's nothing on this demon page. Nothing. Nothing on his page, man. So I want to go back again. Salakia. So I want to go back to this because what the point I'm making is this devil say, oh man, hold on. See, this is why you guys need to just be quiet, man. So again, he say, why do some of the holy prophets of Great Millstone use profanity while preaching and or teaching the holy word of Yahweh? Why do they mimic the unholy foul language of the pagans, which preaching or teaching the holy word, right, of King Yahweh Mashiach? So this is what I put on the comment board. Let me pull this up. It's lucky. I believe I done moved it, man. Bear with me for a moment. Okay, let me see, because I don't know if I moved it or what. I think I moved it, man. Um, I'm gonna pull up on my phone, as a matter of fact. Let me just do it like that. so I can read about what I had put on the comment board because I had it there, but I clicked it away and I don't know how to bring it back. Um, man. All right, so let me pull up on my phone. Bear with me for a moment. So this guy, man. So let me just pull up on my phone. Bear with me. So what I told him was before the 1500s, none of these words existed, man. I said we have been westernized, and that's why you people feel like that. Cause to say anything about cursing, cursing is when you go into cursing, man, that's putting a curse on somebody. It has nothing to do with using foul language, right? Profanity, as he say, or as the world say. So, Salakia, all right, man. Hold on, man. I just had it. I just jumped right over it, man. Bear with me. So let me get off this. You come back to me. So let me get this. Salakia, I just was at it. Moving too fast, man. So I was telling them that before the 1500s, these words we had been westernized by Babylon, man. So after all that long book, I said, let me scroll down. So I said, first off, we ain't Israelites, and it's Rekak Wadash, the correct pronounce of Holy Spirit. Then I said, and since you are, what I say, and since you are a wannabe so super deep, if you read verse 7 in Isaiah 6, it's talking about purging away our sins. That chapter of Isaiah was Yahweh Shema Shah restoration to Israel, being washed with the word, right? Then I say, I say, if it, man, I'm like, I can't even write. It's a, I say, if it was talking about profanity, why would Paul mention rude speech, rude in speech, but not in knowledge, right? Which is 2 Corinthians 11:6, which I posted. I posted verse 7 as well. I say also, if you are offended in this truth, then this isn't for you. Because in fact, Yahweh shall call the Pharisees and Sadducees vipers and serpents, right? I say, those are profane words if you look into them. Also, we have been westernized. So what you think is cursing is not. Let's say cursing is putting a curse on someone, not profanity. And the last thing I said was profanity of today is fuck, shit, hell, damn, which damn is in the Bible. Uh Shit is in the Bible, which is dumb, right? I said profanity of today is fuck, shit, hell, damn, motherfucker, bitch, ass, etc. All of these words are acronyms that didn't exist before the 1500s, right? So here we got this guy. Let me read this. Right, brother. Deuteronomy 28:54. This what this man, this is what this is right here, man. It say in this lightning Yashala, Deuteronomy 28:54, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be even toward his brother. It say, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children which he shall lead. These guys is emotional, man. Talking about the youth, the young. Listen, if anybody's supposed to get this truth, they're gonna get it, man. They ain't gonna be offended. This is Kazak Ben Yahal to put up Ecclesiastes 20, Ecclesiastes 2 and 3. Woe unto him that is faint hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. Right. Beautiful. This is Salakia. I didn't mean to do that. Damn it. Verse 14, it say, woe unto you, they have lost patience, and what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? Right? You got faint hearted, man. That just say a sinner that go two ways, man. Let me see before I get some of these precepts. So this brother Mashiach, Ira, Zakar, he put up rude pronunciation. It say offensively impolite or ill mannered, crude. Was that discourteous, impolite, primitive, simple, unsophisticated, harsh, severe. So when you read Isaiah 8:20, yeah, man, these bro say these read my Hebrew Bible Israelite. Yeah, man, God bugged out, man. Oh, beautiful. You put up profane. It say treating sacred things with contempt, disrespectful, irrelevance, undue familiarity, irreverent, impious. That was beautiful. The water for that, brother. So if Paul said, the brother got it right here. Let's read this. Matter of fact, let me get I'm gonna read 6 and 7. Because why would Paul say this, man? This is Second Corinthians, which the brother got up on the comment board, but I want to read verse 7 as well. Now I'm finna block this nigga too. Oh, he don't got none on this he don't got none on this page, man. Nothing. His page is empty, man. So this is Second Corinthians chapter 11 and 6. It reads, but though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge, but we have been thoroughly made manifest among you in all things. Have I committed an offense in abasing myself that ye might be exalted? Because I have preached to you the gospel of power freely. But though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge, but we have been thoroughly made manifest among you in all things. Have I committed an offense in abasing myself that ye may be exalted? Because I have preached to you the gospel of power, Yahweh Shema Shai, freely. Hey, you offended at this? This ain't for you, man. Period. Why you talking about little kids and elderly folk? Listen, man. Those that supposed to get this truth, period. Young, old, middle age, whomever's supposed to get this truth, man, will not be offended. So, as he want to put up Isaiah 6, 1 through 7, this is Isaiah 8 and 20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. So what you need to understand is everybody that's not preaching this truth, this sound doctrine, uh, you got Jacob Trouble on the rise. You got the MOTB on the rise. You got famine and pestilence. These things is happening, playing out on the rise, man. If you ain't speaking these things right here, according to the Bible, you might as well be using profanity. Let me see. So I just want to make that point, man. I ain't want to deal with this too much. I just want to show you how bugged out. Now you watching Great Millstone, but you offended. How you offended? Everybody over here, we ain't offended at nothing, man. They say this brother put this up. None of these things, hey, none of this None of this was around before the 1500s, man. Talking dealing with profanity and so-called cursing, man. Go look it up. Profanity is a socially offensive use of language, which may also be called cursing, swearing, or what is it, expletive. Accordingly, profanity is language used that is sometimes deemed impolite, rude, or culturally offensive. And none of these things were before the 1500s, man. Go look it up, man. Now this guy, and um, what's these people's is? These Irelands, would they be saying when they be calling people Yankees, right? Them Ireland, them, which the most of them, well, not most of them, a lot of them is Jakes over there, man. But they be calling each other Yankees, man. Right? Hey, those fighting words, man. If you go to these Irish pubs where these real Irish men at, man, hey, them are fighting words, man. Just like Yahushua called the vipers and called all the wicked, called the wicked in his time vipers and serpents, man. Those are fighting words, man. Beautiful, brother. Let me read this. Jake is bugged out, weak, emotional, man. So in this lightning Joshua Allah put up um First Kings 2:2. And this is what King David was telling Solomon when he was passing away. It say, I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man, and keep the charge of the Lord Yahweh thy power, to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes and his commandments and his judgments and his testimonies. Right. Hey, the Lord say, what is that, Job 38? Gird up thy loins like a man. If this offend you, man, then you need to go somewhere else, man. For real. And I'm gonna block you anyway after this. And you don't got nothing on your comment board anyway. They probably just a old empty page he made just so he can go on pages and talk trash to my Israelites. Who is that, man? Because that's not us. That ain't so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. We don't know who that is. But one minute you saying Israelites, then you saying Yasha Allah, then you saying Ra'u, what is it? Ruach, Kodesh. He gonna put Ruach Ha, Kodesh. Man, get your ass out of here with that madness, man. Job 38:3. It say, gird up not thy loins like a man, for I will demand of thee, and answer thou me. Let me get this other than Isaiah. This Jake wanna be super deep. You don't know nothing, man. Little demon nigga, man. What is that? Isaiah 46. This is Isaiah 46:8. Remember this and show yourselves men, bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors. So when you read in Isaiah 6, man, that was the angel the Lord sent to cleanse Isaiah, man. That was represent Israel being restored, man. Back to Yahushua, back to Yahweh, through Yahushua by the word, man. By the word. They didn't have nothing to do with no damn profanity, man. You guys bugged out, man. So anyway, I just want to show that I'm finna get to this lesson at hand, man. Now, I was watching the plantation last night. The brother, the GMS South Georgia camp, right? That brother had put up like a 2-minute clip. Man, look at this, man. This is cold. This is heavy. If I had time, I might go back to this guy. Because you brother got some beautiful precepts on the comment board. So I want to show this. And because this prophecy right here, man. Everything else don't even matter. This is let me see. Okay. This the brother put up from from GMS South Georgia last night. It's a 2 minute clip, right? Now we know you got Babylon the Great. That's they trying to defend Taiwan from China. They trying to defend Ukraine from Russia, and they also got to play their major part as in defending Israel. Right? Look at this. So let's play this. Man, hold on. Let me turn this volume down. This is beautiful, man. Cause the Lord got them trying to. Hey, they got to stand in the paint, man. You want to be everywhere but home, man. As the scriptures say, right? He needs to keep it at home, man. So you trying to defend you? Well, you got to defend Israel, and you trying to defend Ukraine and Taiwan. The Lord got these devils stressed out, just like the Roman Empire, man. So let's check this out.
Israel seeks to coordinate Plan B with U.S. on Iran. Bennett told CIA director that the U.S. and Israel should start working on a joint strategy in case Iran elects not to return to 2015 nuclear deal. Prime Minister Naftali Bennett told CIA Director Bill Burns in a meeting on Wednesday that the U.S. and Israel should start working on a joint strategy for a scenario in which Iran elects not to return to the 2015 nuclear deal, Israeli officials told Barak Ravid of Axios Thursday. The issue was the focus of Burns' talks in Israel with Bennett, President Isaac Herzog, Minister of Defense Benny Gantz, and Mossad Director David Barnea. Israeli officials viewed the meeting as part of the preparations for Bennett's meeting with President Biden, which is planned for later this month in Washington. During the meeting, according to Axios, Bennett presented Burns with his assessment of and policy toward Iran. Israeli officials said their impression was that Burns was also skeptical about whether Iran was ready to return to full compliance with the deal. It was important for the Prime Minister to make it clear that when we say we think it is a mistake to return to the 2015 nuclear deal, it is not an automatic continuation of the Netanyahu government's policy and that we have a different approach, a senior Israeli official told Ravid. Iran has gradually scaled back its compliance with the 2015 deal in response to former Trump's withdrawal from the agreement in 2018, but has been holding indirect talks with the Biden administration on a return to the agreement. However, Iran recently paused the talks and announced they will not resume before the new government takes office. The new government is headed by hardline President Ebrahim Raisi, who was sworn in as president of Iran last week and vowed to bring an end to U.S. sanctions on the Islamic Republic, denouncing the sanctions as illegal. The Israeli intelligence community, foreign ministry, and other national security agencies think the likelihood of Iran deciding to return to the deal has waned in recent weeks after the election of Raisi, according to Ravid. The Israeli government is concerned that the U.S. and other Western powers won't push back hard as Iran moves ahead with its nuclear program.
Now you see that? Iran, man. These are the Persians, man. And I don't want to say this too, because I was just thinking about this. If Paul just mentioned, though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge, who was he talking to? That was in 2 Corinthians, right? He was in Corinth. So obviously he had to make that point because what? Obviously he had some rude speech going on. For him to make mention of that, though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge, he wasn't talking to himself. Hey, Yahweh Shai in Luke 19, I just seen it. That's why I said I'm gonna have to go back and forth. I just thought about it, man. And you know how the spirit work. Luke 19, what did the Lord say? What does the word austere mean? It means to be hard, man. This is Luke. What is that? 19 and let's read this. I just thought about this real quick. This is Luke 19 and 21. For I feared thee because thou art an austere man. Thou takest up that thou layest not down, and reapest that thou did not sow. Now, the brother I also put up on the convo yesterday, I think it was Ecclesiastes 28, about the tongue, right? Well, when you out here teaching people lies and madness and destroying them through your philosophies, hey, that's the tongue slaying, man. That's not talking about using no rude speech, man. I just had to make that point, man. Ain't talking about using no rude speech. So you got Iran saying they ain't doing no new deal, man. This new president, he said he ain't doing no new deal. Now, I thought this was beautiful last night, the plantation. I couldn't wait to get up out of there, man, to come home, man. So now what Biden say? I got this. I had to pull these clips up. I had to pull these clips up last night, so I have them ready to go today. So here is now this is a little old, but listen to this. Damn infomercial.
Become a
So like,
cybersecurity professional in less than a year. Our live virtual classes take place in.
so look at this.
President Biden has said the US would come to Taiwan's defense if it were attacked by China. The comments are a departure from a long-standing US policy of being vague about its commitments to the island. A White House spokesman has told US media outlets that his remarks did not signify a change in policy. Well, I'm joined now by Professor Kerry Brown, who's director of the Lao China Institute at King's College London. Kerry Brown, thank you for joining us. What do you make of these comments by President Biden?
Well, the context of the comments is a kind of increasingly difficult relationship between China and the United States, with China in the last few weeks having military kind of exercises very, very close to Taiwan and also incursions into Taiwan's airspace. So in that context, these comments are a sort of sign to Beijing to just, lay off. But the problem is that in Beijing, their kind of mindset is America is already too pushy and forceful, and they don't feel that this is really an issue for America to get involved in because they regard the Taiwanese issue as an internal issue, even though, of course, America regards Taiwan as being a kind of separate entity.
Now, the White House quite quickly said that there had been no change in policy. These were comments made in a town hall kind of situation, not pre-prepared. Do you think President Biden slightly misspoke, or did he mean to say what he said?
I'm sure it's deliberate. It's an extremely important area of policy. It's always been kind of covered in ambiguity. In 1979, when the United States shifted diplomatic recognition from Taiwan to the People's Republic, it had the Taiwan Relations Act, and that really kind of commits the United States to, kind of taking care or like being very aware of Taiwan's security. To say that they would stand by Taiwan, of course, is a much stronger statement, but it's not a kind of unexpected statement because America has said that it is Taiwan's principal security guarantor.
Just a few minutes ago here on BBC World News, a previous guest said that Taiwan right now is the most dangerous potential flashpoint in the world. What do you think of that?
Yes, it is an extremely difficult situation because 23 million people on Taiwan certainly don't believe that their fate should be wrapped up with that of, the People's Republic. They're very strongly Taiwanese in their identity. And I think Beijing's kind of stance is that it knows that any military...
Look it up. The U.S. has no official diplomatic ties with Taiwan. Why the hell are you trying to defend these people, man? The Taiwan is basically, it is China. Just like Ukraine is Russia's, man. Hey, that's why these Babylonians gotta be destroyed, man. Hey, these devils you trying to defend everybody else, and Babylon the Great is destroyed, man. People just, man. I get downtown Saturday, and in the spot I was set up camp. I got there first, and it was a Job 9:24 taking a dump, man. Where we teach at, man. She was taking a dump. Hey, we used to see this on videos in LA and different parts like LA, like California, San Francisco, different places, man. Right? You see them shitting all in the streets. Well, it was somebody literally taking a dump, and I was like, man, when the brothers got there, I said, man, we're gonna have to find a new spot. But after the chick, the Job 9:24 had left, I'm thinking she was dumping on the ground, but she was dumping in a bag. Like she was literally putting out like, man, call out your how about your mama shy, because I thought she was taking a dump on the ground. Why are you trying to defend these other countries when Babylon the Great is destroyed, man? Homeless people everywhere. These devils is not even helping the veterans out, man. You trying to defend these other countries, but you got these veterans that don't fought, right? They done made it past these flying bullets. I'm talking about 50 cal bullets and landmines and napalms and grenades, and they back home now made it. and they can't even get their check every month, man. But these devils trying to defend these other countries. You ain't even helping your people that fought for you, and they back over here safely. Which you devils thought they was gonna die in the wars, but they made it back, and you ain't even helping them. But you trying to defend Taiwan, which you have no diplomatic ties with. It's just devil, man. Or that's that Habakkuk too, though, man. Neither keep at home, man. His desire is as hell and death and cannot be satisfied.
Intervention would be really, really disastrous and catastrophic, and yet it feels extremely anxious and I mean kind of wound up by the way that America and others are kind of getting more and more involved in this issue, like it's a provocation. So words really matter in this issue because they can be misinterpreted and things can escalate really quickly. There are very clear red lines.
You're right, there's red lines. And Biden said that. I did a lesson on it, man. The line is drawn in the sand. I said in this case, the concrete. The line is drawn in the concrete. Now I want to answer this brother question. This brother right here, a little joker, he put up, Shalom, brother. Can you please answer this question for me? In the book of Mark, when Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, we talking to, it gets me to say, he talking to the rich ruler. What did he mean when he said no one is good but God alone? So we read in Isaiah 64, this is what it say. But we are all as an unclean thing, and all our righteousness are as filthy rags. And we all do fade as a leaf, and our iniquities, like the wind, have taken us away. So we all are like filthy rags. But through the word of Yahweh, which is Yahweh Shai, we have been cleansed, man. Right? We all have been born. Even Yahweh Shai, when you read, the reason Yahweh Shai had to go through what he had to go through, because Yahweh Shai was Solomon, if you can receive it. He was Solomon. And what he did as Solomon, the Lord did that to him as Yahweh Shai. Let me read that real quick before I get these other two clips. You know, this ain't dealing with the lesson. And you know, if it popped up, I'm gonna take you as a sincere brother, and you trying to learn. So let me get this. See my train of thought, my mind going so fast, man. What was I finna get? I'm sorry, Shalakia. I done lost my train of thought, man. What I was finna get. I was saying, but we all as an unclean thing. Oh, so this is what to show you why Yahweh Shah said that. Call out Yahweh Shema Shah for bringing it back to me. So this is Hebrews 7:27. It reads, start at 26. It say, for such an high priest became us, who is holy, harmless, undefiled, separate from sinners, and made higher than the heavens. It say, for such an high priest became us, who is holy, harmless, undefiled, separate from sinners, and made higher than the heavens, who needed not daily as those high priests to offer up sacrifices. It say first for his own sins and then for the people's. For this he did once when he offered up himself. You're talking about Yahweh Shai. So here's another one. Get this one in Hebrews 9. This is Hebrews 9 in verse 25. It say, I'm gonna read 24. For Hamashiach is not entered into the holy places made with hands, which are the figure of the true, but into heaven itself, not to appear in the presence of power for us, nor yet that he should offer himself often, as the high priest entered into the holy place every year with blood of others. Talking about when Jake went off, we had to go to the high priest, which are the Levites, the so-called Haitians today, right? We had to sacrifice. Well, we had to kill the animals, and they had to sacrifice it to Yahweh. It say, but then must he often have suffered since the foundation of the world, but now once in the end of the world, he have appeared to put away sin by the sacrifice of himself, and as it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this the judgment. So Mashiach was once offered to bear the sins of many, and unto them that look for him shall he appear the second time without sin unto salvation. But in Hebrews 7, it tell you, it say, who needed not daily as though high priest to offer up sacrifices, first for his own sins, and then for the people's. For this he did once when he offered up himself, because we all as an unclean thing. So, but the Lord has cleansed us, and that's why I was telling this demon to my profanity and cursing. When the Lord, when the Lord say, when Yahweh said that the angel put the coal on Isaiah's lip, man, that was cleansing. That was bringing us back through the words of Yahweh, man. Okay, that was Isaiah being clean. That was representing Israel coming home, man. That was that. What that was the door of mercy being open, man. That's the grace period, man. That's what that meant. Just like Job represented the elect going through trials and tribulations, adversities and afflictions, that just as well as Isaiah represented Israel being restored through the words of Yahweh Shema Shai, man. If you understand. So let's get these other two. Right, the water, brother. He put it up again. Ecclesiastes 28:18, it says, many have fallen by the edge of the sword, but not as many as have fallen by the tongue. Hey, because when you teaching lies, when you teaching vanity, when you teaching false religion, man, they're destroying people, man. This has nothing to do with rude speech, man. But anyway, so let's get back to this. So you see these devils. Hey, Babylon the Great have nothing to do in Taiwan, man. But you trying to defend these people, and they don't want your help, man. This is well, it seems they do, but they don't. This is so this is the other clip I got. I got two more clips actually. Just showing you, just doing updates. Just on December the 8th, showing you how these devils trying to defend these people. This is gonna be an infomercial too. These damn devils, man. And they don't want your help.
Why dating a young Latin woman is a good option?
And no troops have been pulled back. And what you...
So here you go. You trying to defend everybody but your own, man.
While the U.S. and Russia both agreed to more talks, no date has been set and no troops have been pulled back. And what Ukrainians want in the meantime is more weapons, specifically jamming systems, anti-aircraft systems, and they want more U.S. military advisors. There are some advisors here, and there are some British advisors on the ground. The Ukrainian Defense Department has called for more advisors, not just dozens of Americans, but hundreds of Americans, not under NATO auspices, but flying the American flag. And they want to position those American personnel near the border. Not that a few hundred U.S. Advisors could stop a Russian onslaught, but they could be tripwire forces. So in case the Russians were to cross over the border, they would quickly find themselves confronting American troops, potentially triggering a U.S. military intervention.
You see? Nah. Here's what Putin say. This is the last clip that I got. Here's what Putin say. Salaki, I got to go back. While you trying to defend all these other places, man, you need to worry about defending Babylon the Great, man. Because this place is done, man. So this is what Putin say. So check this out.
You have talked a lot about security guarantees, and now we've seen your proposals. You also say you have no intention of invading Ukraine. So will you guarantee unconditionally that you will not invade Ukraine or any other sovereign country? Or does that depend on how negotiations go? And another question, what is it, do you think, that the West does not understand about Russia or about your intentions? Thank you.
Speaking of the security guarantees and what it will depend upon, or if something will depend upon the negotiations, our actions will not depend on the negotiation. They will depend on the unconditional compliance with the Russian security demands today and in the historical context. In this sense, we have made it clear that any further NATO movement to the east is unacceptable. There is nothing unclear about this. We are not deploying our missiles over at the borders of the US. No. On the other hand, the US is deploying its missiles close to our home, on the porch of our house. So, are we demanding something excessive? We're simply asking them not to deploy their attack systems over at our home. What is so unusual or peculiar about that? So, what would the Americans think if we, for example, decided to come to the border between, say, Canada and the United States or Mexico and simply deploy our missiles over there? Well, did Mexico and the US never have any territorial disputes? What about California? What about Texas? Did you forget about that? But everything seems to have calmed down. Nobody remembers those things, just like the way they remember about Crimea. We try not to remember the situation in Ukraine. Who created that? Who started the crisis? Was that Lenin? Yes, when he declared the Soviet Union in 1922 and then the Constitution of 1924 following his death, was following the principles of Lenin.
You see that?
This is
that's the Ezekiel 38, man. You see he mentioned that? Hey, the Lord putting hooks in their jaws, man. As the scriptures say.
Matter of security, not just history. This is about security. It is not the negotiations that matter. It is the outcome, the result. I've reiterated this many times, and you're well aware that we said not an inch to the east. That was the NATO guarantee in 1990. So what became of that? They fooled us. We've seen 5 waves of NATO expansion. Now they're in Romania and in Poland, and they're deploying the relevant attack systems over there. That's what we're talking about. You should finally understand, we're not threatening anyone. We did not come to the US borders or to the UK borders. No, they came to our borders, and now they're saying that Ukraine will also join NATO and they will deploy their systems there. Or not just NATO, they will simply deploy it on a bilateral basis. They will deploy their military bases and their attack systems. That's what we're talking about. And you keep demanding some guarantees from us. You must give us the guarantees. It is up to you, and you must do this immediately, right now, instead of keep talking about this for decades. And use this small talk and soft talk about the need for guarantees of security for everyone. This is exactly what we mean. We are not threatening anybody. And now to the second part of your question. Could you repeat that, please?
What is it that you think that the West does not understand about Russia or about your intentions?
No. Знаете что?
Yes, exactly. Well, you know, what you understand or what you don't understand, sometimes it seems to me that we live in 2 different worlds. I was speaking about very obvious things. How can you not understand that? You say we will have equal guarantees for everyone on a number of international agreements, and then we see there is no equality or no equal security. See, here's the thing. Back in 1918, one of the assistants of Woodrow Wilson, the US president, said that the whole world would feel calmer and safer if today's enormous Russia would be replaced with the states of Siberia and 4 more states in the European part of Russia. That was said in 1918, and in 1991 we separated into 12 separate parts. It seems to me that our partners were not satisfied with that. They think that Russia is a tad too large. Even the European countries have turned themselves into a union of states. They are quite small states with populations of 60 to 80 million people, but even after the dissolution of the Soviet Union, we only had 146 million people, and that is too much for the West. I think that is the only explanation for their constant pressure against us. Back in the 1990s, the Soviet Union did everything it could to build normal relations with the West, with the United States. I will keep saying this, and I will repeat for your viewers and listeners out there from the media that you represent. I didn't quite get that, but that doesn't matter. Our nuclear sites, our military nuclear sites, had experts from the US intelligence authorities. They were going there. That was their job, to visit the Russian military nuclear sites. They spent their whole days over there. And the Russian government had advisors from the CIA working inside of it. What else did you need? Why did you have to support the terrorists in Northern Caucasus and use the terrorist organizations to reach your goals and break down the Russian Federation? This was exactly what you were doing. And as a former director of the FSB, I know that. We were working with the double agents, and they were reporting to us on the tasks of the Western intelligence agencies. Why did you have to do that? You should have done something different, perhaps treat Russia as a possible ally and strengthen trust. But no, instead you tried to keep breaking us up. And then you started the NATO expansion to the east. We were saying, don't do that. You had promised you wouldn't. And they say, where is it put in written form? Nowhere. Well, then F off, and we don't care about your concerns. And every time we kept responding and trying to make obstacles, we were expressing our concerns about that. But they say no. So you can do whatever you want about your concerns. We will do whatever we need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We witnessed 5 waves of NATO expansion. Why can't they understand? What is unclear? I believe everything is clear. We are thinking about our own security.
You see? You see? This is Revelation chapter 20 and verse 7. And when 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the 4 quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. So that's the spirit the Lord got on these devils, man. Hey, the same way how I say in Jeremiah 49, this Jeremiah 49 in verse 20. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Abishai, that he have taken against Edom, and his proposes that he have proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. So, as you saw that clip with US and Israel talking about how they taking strategic moves against Iran, man. Well, that's how about Shema Bashar taking strategic moves against you, Babylon the Great, and Israel, man. Hey, when Israel move, Russia gonna move with them, man. And you see, you got Iran and Russia and China, hey, getting together, man. So this is it's saying in Revelation 20, what I just read. Hey, he's stirring up this devil, the Lord. It came out to deceive the world, right? The 4 corners of the earth, and to stir up Gog and Magog, man. This is Isaiah 13 and 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. You see, that bold also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare their children. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, shall be of the Chaldees' excellency. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when power overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. So what we're seeing is you devils trying to defend Taiwan. You gotta defend Israel. And you trying to defend Ukraine. Hey, the Lord got you devils in a real trick bag, man. In a real trick bag. This is Second Ezra 11:39. It reads, it said, the least of the flock shall draw them out. The Second Ezra 11:39. Are not thou it that remaineth of the fourth beast, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them? So the Lord, hey, when you go to Daniel 7, right, it tell you that you had the Babylonian Empire, and then you had the Medo and Persian Empire, right? Well, the Medo-Persian Empire was the empire that took down Babylon, man. Right? Well, as it said in Ecclesiastes 1:9, there's nothing new under the sun, man. It say, Ecclesiastes 1:9, the thing that have been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. And you poking at that bear, man. Babylon is constantly poking the bear, man. You backing Putin into a corner, man, and he finna let loose. Verse 10 reads, is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It have been already of old time, which were before us. Ecclesiastes 3:15. That which have been is now, and that which is to be have already been, and power, Yahweh Shem Shah, require that which is past. So what we see going on, it's just prophecy playing out, man. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. And back to the brother that asked that question, about why Yahweh Shah said nobody's good but the Father. Hey, the Lord gave, we all as an unclean thing, which I read to you in Isaiah 64. Hey, but the Lord gave us mercy, man, right? Because we all are unclean, man. But the Lord gave us mercy to return home, man, right? Through Yahweh Shah, which is our mediator. So let me read this. This is 1 Timothy 2:5. It reads, for there is one power and one mediator between power and men, the man Yahweh Shah Mashiach, the man Hamashiach Yahweh Shah, who gave himself a ransom for all to be testified in due time. So we got the mediator, right? Through all the filthy rags, being defiled, the Lord's Son, his only begotten Son, to bring us home, man. Oh, Paul said this. Also in 2 Corinthians 11, it says this, 2 Corinthians 11 and verse 2. For I am jealous over you with godly jealousy, for I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Hamashiach. For I am jealous over you with godly jealousy. Who is this? Hey, Yahweh say, hey, he's a jealous power, man, right? For I am jealous over you with godly jealousy, for I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Mashiach. That chaste virgin being what? For this nigga talking about rude profanity and cursing. Nigga, you don't know what you're talking about, man. This Revelation 14:3. And they sung, as it were, a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. Hold on, listen. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whatsoever he goeth. These are redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto power and to the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of power, Yahweh Shema Shah. And in their mouth was found no guile. You demon ass nigga, to my profanity and cursing. Hey, you can watch from the outer courts, you demon ass nigga. You don't understand. You don't have no content. And if you did, you wouldn't be ashamed to show it. This is Adam Nanai put up Ecclesiastes 13 and 13. Observe and take good heed, for thou walkest in peril of thy overthrowing. When thou hearest these things, awake in thy sleep. Beautiful. Hey, the time is at hand, man. I say opportunity. It said, awaken thy sleep, opportunity. Oh, hold on, Salaki. I'm reading the wrong thing. Salaki. This is Kazak Banyahal put up Ecclesiastes 12 and 16. It say, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips. Beautiful, brother. But in his heart, he imagined how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. Right, man. These devils, man. Verse 17. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. Right, man. These devils, man. So like these pop-ups. Verse 18. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. Yeah, man. That's why you don't put to trust these devils, man. That's why we don't trust these devils, man. Because in let me get this as a matter of fact. This is Proverbs 26 and 24. It reads, he that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart, whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. And the Lord finna expose this devil, man. Well, he is already exposed, but the Lord finna make him naked now, bare, which he's uncovered now. Everybody see this devil wickedness, man. Everybody know who this devil is, man. And we see his throne, man. He's a he's a pedophile, man. Damn devil, man. Hey, so Lord wants to edify and to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. That honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all Israel, whether you can accept it or not. And a sincere salutation to all the can pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the 4 winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hope for the elect. And shalom to the Akwath who are listening and learning. That few sisters who are listening and learning. Lord was edifying. Till next time I say shalom. Wa abab abal. Beautiful precept, brother. Hey, the water for tuning in. May you, how about Shema shall continue to bless you in your houses. Stay prayed up. Hey, man, the Lord, this is because I want you how to put up Matthew 23 and 15. It said, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you compare sea and land to make one proselyte, and when he is made, you make him twofold more the child of hell than yourselves. Right? There's the word hell. Then you got another word, which is damnation, which is also, I think, is in Matthew 23. Right? These words, man. These words, what they use today, what they consider today as rude speech, was not before the 1500s, man. Hey, but anyway, hey, the for tuning in. May Yahweh Shema shall continue blessing your house and stay prayed up. So next time I say shalom, wa abba.